we go back on the left-hand one here now, obviously doing your practice swing now, which is going to be good, okay? Your arms are working under that, but you're keeping your right elbow up there, a bit away from your body, keeping this width in the backswing, getting the left arm away from the body this way, not up here. But equally, don't be fearful of the left arm being too high and go, I know, I'll just put everything down and just sort of clamp it all into your body and get really sort of cramped and limited in terms of the movement, okay? That movement then was good. When you set this golf ball here now, again, good posture. Top of the backswing there, good. Left arm now over your right shoulder, left arm nice and extended. Now, you may or may not see this on the way down, even though this was a good shot. And this is why I say, as quality a shot as this was, and you'll see by your reaction, if you sort of walk off the screen, you'll see how good it was. That movement there now, if we get to about here, you've probably lost the angle into the golf ball. That's where your hands sort of level with your thigh around here, and the club's down here, where it should be sort of back in the angle, which will show you on this right-hand one now. But again, still a good strike. Down the range, you're like, yeah, whatever. And that pitch at, I think, 100, 102. So it was a quality shot in terms of everything else. However, the power was kind of released a little early. So you actually still lost a bit of yardage, believe it or not. Okay, so just sort of showing potentially going forward what's available there. So this right-hand one here now, this is the move we're trying to make. So you swing the top of your backswing. That's good. Get your arms up nice and high. Left arm nice and extended. And from there now, we drop it down. So your left arm here was a little bit too far over. We need to sort of practice the left arm getting a bit more down by your right thigh there, okay? And you sort of did that a bit more. And then sort of when you did that, you sort of pulled your elbow to do that. So that movement there with your left arm is more, you rather than sort of going this way, sort of the arms sort of move in your shoulder stuff, you kind of went, kind of pulled the arm in a little bit. So, and that's obviously just a feeling of what your left arm, because you're not left-handed, obviously, many things you do. Your left elbow's not really sort of sure how it feels there, okay? So, moving that left arm, so your shoulder's not really moving there in terms of the arm movement. It's more kind of that way as opposed to this sort of ticking in the shoulder movement. To be fair, the next 3 or 4 are better. So you get down there now, up the top of the backswing, get the way, and then down to there. Good, that's it. Down to there. Angles lost a little bit. That's, I mean, we're looking for roughly, and it depends on sort of the flexibility in your wrist there, towards or 90-ish degrees. That's not too bad where you are there. That's still storing some power in there.
Okay.
If we watch the actual swing then, now there's 2 things happen. One, okay, we can hold the angle and never unhinge it, and the club face comes back way to the right, and the ball goes that one that went way off to the right there, okay? Or we unhinge it too early, and the ball might go a bit straighter, but you might lose a bit of yardage, okay? This is the thing through the winter to work on here now. Go on, what do you say?
So go back to just fractionally back to that
one there, that's pretty good there, yeah? So hands just by your right thigh.
Right, so my left, hang on.
Yeah, go on. So your left arm.
This should be...
Yeah, so just bring the club back to here kind of thing. So roughly about there, yeah?
So it should be down.
Yeah, your left arm is pointing down towards your right foot. Yeah. So if I extend your arm down there, it's kind of pointing down towards your right foot roughly.
Okay.
You've got a 90-degree-ish angle in here somewhere. And the club face is sort of over your toes and aiming towards target. The club's sort of behind you here, so it's back behind you in that direction. It's going to be aiming too far to the right. I wouldn't see ever out there, but if it's out there, that's obviously wrong. So somewhere in this sort of position here now.
Straight line sort of thing, really.
Exactly. Parallel to the ground. Exactly.
Parallel to ground, parallel to me, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And then from there now, as you then come to the golf ball, there would be an unhinging here. So these last 2 movements here are pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in there, so just work on this sort of dropping the club on the line. And I say from there now, all you end up doing is taking your right wrist in that sort of cocked position.
Yeah.
Basically doing that, yeah? That's what your right wrist is doing. So from there now, that's it, yeah? You're there now.
It's not flicking it exactly.
It's
throwing it.
I think when you throw a ball, what does your wrist do when you throw a ball? Yeah. Is this that unhinged space when you throw a ball, your wrist is potentially in this sort of hinge position?
And then you go like that.
Exactly. You look at even all sports like pitching, baseball, or tennis. There's that American football is that kind of like or the basketball shooting a hoop. They're doing this with their right wrist. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then when you get here now, that was your practice. If you look at your practicing with a speed, when your left arm gets down, look at the shaft there. The shaft now is down here. You see, yeah.
Okay.
If we go back a little bit there, you can see where the shaft is there. Your hand hasn't really reached your thigh, and the club shaft's roughly there. And then when you come back, which again, to be expected, I wouldn't suddenly suggest you're going to go like click and be perfect. This is going to take probably a few months, a bit of practice of doing that drill, dropping on the line and being aware of where that club is. Then when you put speed to it, for me, the backswing's good. It's a good hip turn, good shoulder turn. You're not swaying or leaning off the ball. This is all very, very good. Now as the arms come down, you can see here now your left arm and the club are almost back in line, aren't they?
Yeah.
So the 90-degree angle that we did have has been lost a little bit early, okay?
Okay.
Then as we come back down here, if I can sort of get down there, you can see the next one. There you go. There's your left arm there, and the club's pretty much lined up now, which again is going to encourage that club hitting the ground a bit beyond the ball, because basically you're just sort of throwing the club down a bit early.
Yeah.
So it creates it a little bit more, what we call casting. Again, you get good at the ball from that position. Again, the width through the ball's nice. Follow through's great. So there's a good movement there. It's just a little bit out of sequence.
Okay.
Which is losing you potentially a little bit of power.
About 20, 30 yards.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So if you can get that.
Well, if I can do it for 150, it's like, you know, it should.
Exactly. Yeah. I generally see that summertime next year, you'll be knocking it down the first fairway towards the end of the bunker on the right of the putt. 175.
Yeah.
Easy.
When it's
when it's back to
absolutely.
which would equate to about a 145, 150 in the winter.
Yeah. Okay.
Rather than going to 150 in the summer and going like 110 now in the winter.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's creating yardage through just
hitting
means
the ball properly.
Of power and sequence and the right speed mechanics, rather than just trying to swing it faster. Yeah.
Well, I guess occasionally I've done it just by chance, which is when I've hit a really long
one. And then you go, whoa, what have I done there?
Yeah, and it's like trying to find out what it is. Okay.
Exactly. So to sort of summarise then, lead arm, okay, in terms of the backswing was a little bit low and sort of tucked down, trying to get under that pane of glass, and did it too much, which I think is something you've always admitted to. When you do something, you do it 100 mile an hour, and you go beyond where you need to go sometimes. Yeah. There's a sweet spot in the stopping zone. You go too far one way, too far t'other. So always a sort of, this is why I say something when you're down the range practicing. It's where just film a couple of swings, and if you hit a few shots and they're just absolutely dog awful, and you go, I can't see what I'm doing, just ping it across and just go, what's it look like? Because if I can go, okay, knowing your swing well enough now, I can sort of send back within 10 seconds and go, exactly.
Well, I've now got another 2 things to...
I would say backswing is the sort of thing to think about on the course now playing.
Yeah.
This wrist hinge is only in here.
Okay, just worry about that.
Yeah, as you know, from the top of the backswing down, there's not a lot of time to think anyway. So you're on the golf course thinking about this. And what I would suggest is I'd rather get this better at the top of the backswing, okay? Because if this is terrible anyway, no matter how good your wrist angle is down, it's going to be a bad shot. Anyway. So you'll start trying to do it too much and not have some good shots. Okay. Yeah? I'd rather you have a better left arm position, as this left arm one proved here. Yeah. Have a better backswing position up here, get that really good. Yeah. And even if, we lose a bit of wrist hinge on the way down, we still nut it 110 yards. It's still a good shot. Yeah, so, if it'll carry 100 yards, which these were doing, then that's fine at the moment. Exactly. Because that's on most greens. On par 3, that's on in tee shot, isn't it? That's on in tee shot, and on the 4s, it'll be on in 3-ish. Yeah, 2.5 or so. 2.5 or sort of. Exactly. You know, your shot to the green wouldn't be that long, I would have said. No, you'd be able to get half or at least 2/3 of the par 4s.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Excellent. Good stuff.